Hey! My break is over. I just couldn't stay away for too long. I'm gonna take a break. A few days. Mano Mellow. Hello. Let's make these islands look less rigid. Had this idea while I was away. So yeah, took a few days off from working on the game. Did not touch the game at all for about 3 days. So didn't look at the game from Friday to Sunday, and it was good. It was a really, really nice break. Spent some time with the family. Went outside for a bit. hello, Tithian. And then, you know, I came back and I was like, okay, I'm ready. Ready to do some work. Yeah, I took some time to, well, first of all, my throat recovered. No longer have a sore throat or a cough, which is great. But I took some time to kind of think about the project overall. What still needs to get done, where it's at right now, and feeling pretty good. Anyway, how's everyone's weekend been? Too much alcohol. Hey. Well, you know, that's what Mondays are. Mondays are just kind of terrible. So, I gotta include the back face. Forced to play games most of the weekend. Sounds terrible. I feel so sorry for you. Did you play anything new or good? Playing, although all jokes aside, playing games sometimes does kind of feel like work now. Pretty sure we all have massive backlogs. I'm feeling really confident about the game. Feeling really good about it. But I'm getting the feeling that in game development, there's never... you don't get to a point where you can coast. Or maybe you do. Maybe you can if you're more experienced, but I think it's just one of those things where you're always going to end up kind of like crashing into the finish line, with your car on fire and like missing a wheel. It's never this... It's not this perfect finish. Like, you'll finish, but it's kind of a hectic journey all the way through. And that's what I think. You just get used to the panic. Hey, dedicated. It's going well. I, took a few days off, not just from streaming, but from working on the game. Did not open the project folder for a good 3 days. It was very nice. Yeah, but working on stuff without a schedule, that stuff never gets finished. So I did a lot of reading about the Roman Empire. Listened to a lot of podcasts about the Byzantine Empire. So not the most exciting breaks. Ate a lot. Slept a lot. Man, I've been sleeping like a baby ever since I stopped drinking coffee. I mean, I know that sounds super obvious, but hey, it took a long time for me to realize that the coffee was maybe a mistake. It was maybe causing some of these problems. I was in denial. Like, people would talk about how much coffee affected them, and I'd be like, doesn't do anything for me. And it's like, nope, that's it's what's been making it very hard for me to sleep at night. How is the game? The game is coming along great. I took some time to make a list of, I did this thing. It's called, it says April 24th game overview. Every once in a while, every month or two, I'll sit down and just make a giant list of the things that I need to still work on. And, this time the list was only 3 pages. In the past, it's like 6 or 7. And they're all pretty small things, and they're all things that are in the works, so it's pretty exciting. Honestly, the biggest thing I need to do now is just make a ton of levels. Which is actually a little harder than it might sound, even though for a long time, if you've been watching the stream for a while, you've probably heard me talk about how much I want to be in that stage where I'm just making levels. But it's actually really hard to just like churn out level after level, puzzle after puzzle. Like it's like going to the gym and just only doing bench presses. And you can't do that, right? Like, well, you'll injure yourself. So. Yeah, and so much of it too is that this this level of stuff is not it's actually all the tiny details that I'm working on now. It's not a lot of the levels. They're kind of like, for this level, there's the kind of the big picture plan of it. And that's pretty easy to do. Not easy, but that's a different muscle. That's a different kind of design. And for a lot of levels, I've already got that in place. So now it's filling in the details. Like, why do I have this set of stairs here? Why does this extend out and doesn't go in? You know, why is it not this, but this? And well, this I think is a little bit too close to the stairs. I mean, it doesn't really matter here, but anyway, it's kind of a lot of the same type of thinking over and over again. And I like it. This is kind of my favorite kind of design to do. It just gets a little bit exhausting after a while. But, you know, I've got some good people helping me out. I'm excited about the polish improvements that we've got. I think the game is looking better than ever, which I'm very, very excited about. Hey, Rory Bell. Yes, it took a few days. Took a few days off, not just from streaming, but from working on the game as well. And yeah, man, I needed that break. There's that freight train. You know, because I've got kind of the same routine that I do every day. And every day I eat almost more or less the same thing. Hello, Susunya Smolina. And I like the routine. The routine lets me focus. So, as an example, you know, every day I wear a gray t-shirt and black jeans. And I still wore that during this break, but, you know, I wasn't eating chicken, rice, and broccoli. Yes, oatmeal, banana protein shake in the morning. And it's good. I like this routine. It really helps me focus, but yeah, it's nice to have change. And hello, garlic. Yes, it was great. Yeah, and it was you know, it was great to see the family. That stuff is can't stress how important that is. So, but hope you all had a good weekend. Yeah, I think for a long time I'd been dreading traveling because all the traveling I was doing was for work. And it's always so exhausting, right? Like I'm carrying a bunch of computers. You know, it's expensive. I'm working, and the kind of the days leading up to the trip, I'm crunching away trying to get a new build ready. And I always book morning flights. I stopped doing that anymore. So anyway, just for a long time, I really dreaded traveling. But this time, you know, it was like my flights were noon, afternoon. I was kind of traveling on kind of not the normal time, so no line. Like today, there was no security line, just went straight through, less than a minute. Yeah, I wasn't working on the game. What do I think about scene management? I'm not really sure what you mean by your question. What do I think about scene management, and do I have any advice on updating from application.load level? Oh, you mean so you're still on like a super old version of Unity? The only thing that I miss from the previous version was that it had a, if you could see if a level was still being loaded. You could see like application.is level loading or something. I had to kind of work around that to do the same thing. So you can't, I think the API doesn't let you see if you're currently loading a level, but there might be a way to get around it. To be honest, it's been so long that I don't quite remember the differences. Oh, can you check the load? I think you can load a level async and check the loading progress. I guess you would just get a number and check that, as opposed to, I remember there was one that was just like, is level loading. And I think I was using that because, you know, we do a lot of asynchronous level loading in the game. And I think it was, at one point, it was checking to see if like I can let the player start playing or something. So there were a few things I had to change, but it wasn't like a huge game-breaking thing. Yeah, I think how hard the upgrade process is going to be is going to depend on how your game is set up. Oi! I'll be right back. So this kind of, you know, I'm gonna make some tea. I think I'm allergic to something in this in Chicago during the spring. It's like because I was totally fine the last few days, and I think it's the Chicago weather where it's like 70 during the day and 40 at night, and it's like it's too hot and too cold and something in the air. But yeah, I'm gonna make some tea. Yeah, Unity's the scene management is not great. You don't have a whole lot of control. Like I think with asynchronous level loading, even the most you have is like the 3 levels of priority: low, normal, high, and like really high or something. So if you're gonna do anything fancy, you'll need to work around that, and it's going to depend on how your scene is set up, how your game is set up, and how your scene is set up. So as an example, when a scene is loaded in Manifold Garden, all of the objects are disabled, and the colliders are not included in the scene when it's loaded in. So I have this process where I like prep a level for the build, and during that step, I actually take all the colliders and group them, make them into separate groups, and make prefabs out of them. And then after the scene is loaded, for each frame afterwards, I load one of those collider prefabs. And the reason is to spread out the loading of the level over the course of several frames, so you don't get any hitches. You could try doing that. I mean, it might not. The reason why I'm doing that is because I have a lot of colliders, and I've got kind of this open world game that you can go from one area to another. Your game might get something different, but yeah, I think the async level loading doesn't give you as much. You don't have as much control over the asynchronous level loading as I think you should have. As that is just to say, if you were kind of hoping for a one-size-fits-all solution, you're not going to find it, unfortunately. With both the old system and the new system, you'll have to play around with things for a bit. I mean, unless you just kind of have very straightforward levels. Yeah, that's not to it's not to say the old one was better. It's just different. Yeah, it's not like they had the perfect level loading system and they toss it out and made you learn a new one. Hey, I'm back. I'm glad to be back. Took a break. It was a much needed break. And yeah, I didn't do a whole lot, but it was kind of just what I was looking for. Oh, I suppose with async level loading, one thing is good is you'll want to watch what's happening in the hierarchy. Now the multi-scene editing in Unity is really, really nice. TJ Friday, how was your weekend? I really like having you in the chat on days other than Friday, especially Monday. It's like we're just I'm already yes. I'm so today is actually this is my first work session since come back. I was thinking I'd start tomorrow, but then I got back and I had dinner and I was like, I was just kind of itching to get back into it. Yeah, for me it was just a nice break from my routine. Like, I don't know if you guys ever saw that documentary Stage of Development. Then an episode about me. You know, they did a kind of a series about Chicago indie game developers. And the second episode, I was in the second episode, and the title was The Hermit of Hyde Park. Hyde Park is my neighborhood. Yeah, it's because I never go out, but I do. It's like I eat the same thing every day. I do more or less the same thing every day, and you know, you could pretty much set a clock by what I do. And I just didn't do much. Did something totally different, and that was very, very nice. Did a lot of art and stayed up late. Oh, and I was saying, so I've stopped drinking caffeine, stopped drinking coffee, and I've been sleeping so well at night. All right, so here's the idea. Like, remember how I had these islands with trees, and they used to just all be this one block, and I kind of realized, you know what? It's a lot more interesting if I vary the size, you know, because I want this area to feel like a Japanese garden, which is, so I need sort of this marriage of man-made and nature. It needs to feel a little bit more organic. Did a lot of art and stayed up late. That's what weekends are for. Hey, awesome. Well, happy to have you here. And happy that, happy to hear that. Because for me, definitely, streaming has really helped in getting myself motivated, because I was like, I don't know if I want to work. No, I wanted to work, but I kept going on Twitter. Like, my body was, you know, like get in front of the computer and my hand would just go twitter.com, reddit.com, and then you're reading about, you know, somebody's fiance cheating on them and they're planning this elaborate revenge. And an hour later, you're like, what does that have to do with my life? I've got a game to make. So when I stream, I don't get distracted by that. I would love to. I've had a great time streaming. I don't know what I would stream. What is very cool is that Twitch is sort of expanding to a lot of different categories, which I think is awesome. But, you know, that's I won't have to worry about what I'm going to do after I'm done with Manifold Garden, because that won't be for a while. I mean, we're almost done, but I think between finishing up the game, launching it, and working on the next working on the kind of the post-launch bug fixing and stuff, I think there'll be quite a bit of streaming still to do, quite a bit of Manifold Garden streaming. So I don't know. I'd love to continue analyzing indie games. I think that's been super fascinating. And maybe if Manifold Garden does well and people know about it, I might get a bigger audience. Like, I don't think my opinions are going to change, but maybe people will be like, hey, this guy maybe knows what he's talking about. So that would be cool. But yeah, if I make another game, I'd definitely like to stream it. You know, I've never done a game jam before. I feel like Ludum Dare would be very, very stressful. Yeah, but also with Ludum Dare, that's, you wouldn't be doing that all the time, right? Like that's only one weekend every 2-3 days. Hey, damn Scout, how was it? It was your first game jam, if I recall correctly. It's a Kill Screen Fest. I got it at Kill Screen Fest as a speaker. Hey, you should post your link. For those of you that did Ludum Dare, you should post a link to your games. And I believe Wordle, she's a level designer, used to work at Insomniac. I think she's now at Blizzard, but she plays Ludum Dare games and gives feedback on them. Not Kevin. Hello. It has been a while. What was the theme for Ludum Dare this time around? So yeah, you know what? What I'm doing here is just kind of making the geometry feel a little bit more organic. Small worlds. You know, I feel like with these Ludum Dare themes, you can really make anything you want. Like, I feel like it's very easy to tie something into the theme. Like, I mean, obviously some work better than others, but like, if you really wanted to, you could tie Doom into Small Worlds or something. Well, damn Scout, that's more than I can say. I have still yet to finish a single game. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is all gonna be like once it's done. You know what? I'm gonna actually add down here. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it was one room in Small World, then they... Though I think there was one that was from one room, it was a recursive one, which is pretty cool. We were looking at it to see how they did the shrinking effect. So what happens now with Luminar? Are people voting on it to see what their favorite game is or something? So the cool thing, so I've kind of done some studies about Japanese garden designs, and there's, you really want asymmetry. I think that's something that's very important. So yeah. Imitate nature. What am I going to do? Hey, this is a very nice path. Yeah, it's gonna, don't worry, we've got quite some time before we have to worry about that. You know what would be a great job? Being a Japanese garden designer. I would stream that. I mean, I've talked about culinary school, and Twitch does let you do cooking streams. So, who knows? Maybe I'll become the next Anthony Bourdain. Is that his last name? Bourdain? Yeah. It was good. It was nice. Yeah. Mostly just ate a lot. I don't know how your families are, but my family, I finished lunch and they asked me what I want for dinner. You know, and then like when you say you're full and you can't eat something, then they get upset. Like you're insulting their cooking. Like, why don't you like the food we made? It's like, no, I really like it. I just can't eat anymore. Yeah, I think every time your family sees you, they just say how skinny you are. Like, because I've gained 10 pounds. I've gained like 15 pounds since they last saw me. And they were still saying that I looked very skinny. But yeah, anyway, I was saying it was a really nice break. Alright, so... Yeah, I kind of had gone with like a very, very rigid... Anyway, I had this idea over during the break, which is just to kind of make these little islands feel not so... Well, first of all of them were just squares, and I was like, there's actually absolutely no reason why they have to be a block from the visual perspective. Like, the only reason why it is because it was easier to make. But, so, and I think this is already looking way better. Like, just having, you know, kind of some steps here and not there is already making this feel much more, well, first of all, it's a lot more interesting, but also much more organic. Drew Van Camp. Drew Van Camp! I feel like I have to yell your name. Because it's in all caps. So I've got this is a tool I made. It's a staircase generator. We have different types of stairs. This is oh no, wait, that's 3 steps. 5, 5. So I can choose this is called widening. Oops, that should be 4. So is anybody here watching Into the Badlands? It's a new series on AMC, kind of martial arts mixed with post-apocalypse. It's like Mad Max, but everybody does kung fu. It's a lot of influence from Hong Kong martial arts films. It's quite good. I'm some of the writing's a little cringy, like. Well, okay, so there's a Into the Badlands. The first season, they're on the second season right now. First season is on Netflix, and I never heard about it. I just kind of like randomly started watching it on Netflix. It's called Into the Badlands, but it's a TV series on AMC, and yeah, but some of the writing's a little cringy. Like there's there's one scene, this girl, it's like, right, they're in post-apocalypse and there's like a colony of people, and some of the women are forced to do stuff they don't want to do, and of course the protagonist, they like send a woman to the protagonist and he refuses her service, and she goes, and I said it, she turns around and I was like, I knew exactly what she was going to say. She was going to say, "You're not like the other men." Because then they always do that, right? They always do that in every show or movie. So the writing's not the most original, but the fighting is actually really, really great. Like it's like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, this is 6 steps. So I can choose how wide the biggest one is. Top. Yeah, the dialogue is not great. But the fight choreography and the cinematography are fantastic. So it's a fun, so it's once a week. So kind of a fun thing to be like, oh, hey, it's Sunday. And there's kind of this fun thing to watch. Well, so you know what? I think not every... Oh, you know what? Here's an interesting idea. Let's get rid of this one. And actually, I'll just make this one really big. So this is 4 steps. So, you know what? Let's do 10... Let's see if this works. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. Hey, you know what? Let's bring this guy out a bit. Okay, this is kind of cool, huh? Interesting. Oh. Better Call Saul. Yeah, I did watch it. I didn't really get into it. I did. I love Breaking Bad. Was hooked on it. How to do this part? Oh, by the way, and I set the name. I name it so I can tell. I think I was expecting Breaking Bad when I watched it, and it was, yeah, like you said, I think much slower, so I think I had the wrong mindset. Hey! A-E-I-O-U. How's it going? How he's getting ready. A-I-O-U is working on Tumbleseed, which is coming out May 2nd on the Nintendo Switch. If you have any questions about Nintendo Switch, he is the guy to ask. Stardew Valley soundtrack. Just my favorite go-to feel-good music. So when you said range, I thought of gun range at first. And I was like, this Stardew Valley music makes you feel like you're on a gun range? Oh, I really like these set of stairs. It's a nice touch. Blue, you know what? It's So if you guys are into roguelikes, you'll want to check out Tumbleseed. It's the Dark Souls of Roly roguelikes. May 2nd on Switch, PS4, and Steam. Simultaneous launch. The Dark Souls are marble rolls, yeah. Yeah, they're doing also the Dark Souls of multi-platform launch. This on the Blue Island. Good. I'm pretty excited about a lot of the new changes. Kind of did a list. I mean, I'm behind on the schedule as expected, but I'm basically now it's all mostly just content. I mean, there's a lot of polish left. I did a list of what needs to get done, and not a. There's still a big list, but it's much smaller than what it used to be. Yeah, like I'm thinking about doing PS4 and Steam simultaneous launch. I think that is the right choice for my game, but I'm still not sure. But yeah, I'm super happy with how the game looks. Like, look at the edge detection. It's the best it's ever looked. Super excited about that, and really happy with the tree. We got a bit of kind of shaking. This isn't right now. It's kind of shaking all the time. That's not going to be the case when it's done. Oh, come on, where's that? Anyway, very happy with the water as well. So, yeah, I'm not sure why that's, but see, yeah, this is already looking great. Look at these stairs are really adding something. I don't know why I was missing the cube activator. Huh. How did this guy get moved all the way out here? But yeah, the new water looks fantastic. Yes, yeah. Well, there's Will Sykes did the trees and the new growing. Arthur has done the portal and the new edge detection. He's kind of like we switched to forward rendering, and he kind of combined all the post-processing steps into one step. So there's like he just combined the stack into one, which is a lot more efficient. So he's optimized that. And because we're in forward rendering, we're actually not using the Unity anti-aliasing. He thought we might be able to do that, but it didn't work. And instead, what he's doing instead is we're doing super sampling. So we're actually rendering the game at a much larger resolution and shrinking it down until it fits. So here's the new water, which I'm super happy about. Oh, it's interesting. Now those look a little darker than I think I'd like, but it's fine. Yeah. Really love this new water. I think Will's gonna add something where its speed changes, not linearly. Hey, Reppy, how's it going? Oh man, I'm really liking this level. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the way that water looks when it breaks. I think it's sort of the right mix. It's not quite this color's a little lighter than I would prefer. Reppy, how's your weekend been? Oh, this is interesting. Oh yeah. Maybe not so blue. You know what, I should copy this. Yeah, that's a little better. Oh man, 13 days in a row. You finished with that, or you just started? Yeah, so this, I'm loving the new water, the new shader, the new trees, the new yeah, and I think this new level with having kind of basically breaking symmetry now. I think I can probably do something a little bit more interesting with these gates. But oh. Man, it's 13 days. Yeah, I just came back from a break, and that was very helpful. So I hope you get the rest you need soon. Try to power through. Yeah, I took 3 days off, visited my family, and I got back earlier today. I wasn't gonna start till tomorrow, but then I kind of wanted to, was reinvigorated to work. Yeah, and I can also show you guys this other thing that Arthur is working on. So this is the dark mode transition. Fortunately, can't really slow it down in here, but previously when we went into dark mode, it was like a fade, white to black, and now instead there's I want it to look like it's expanding from the cube. So no, I'm not a huge fan of the jaggedness. I think I'd prefer it to have kind of a rounded border. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think with the cool sound effect, it's gonna look really neat. Oh, have you guys seen this new Twitch affiliate program? It's actually pretty cool. I think this means I don't know all the details, but I believe it's like anybody can get emotes now or something. It's almost like kind of a partner junior type of program, or I think people can cheer on your channel. Anyway, kind of I suppose another incentive for those of you that are looking to get into streaming. Getting the rest of the menu buttons. Okay. Well, all the best with that, Dedicated. Glad that we could be helpful. Yeah, power through those. UI is the worst. You just gotta power through it. But who knows? Maybe you're one of those people that enjoy it. In which case, good for you. Some of you might remember that month and a half when I did UI. I think I ended up just hard coding a ton of stuff. It's like, yeah, I could do proper programming and come up with, abstract solutions. Or I'll just hard code it and get it over with, and hopefully there aren't too many edge cases. Steel-toed boot, you really enjoy doing UI. Yes. One of the rare ones. I think most of us just totally underestimate how much work UI is. Like originally I thought, it's like menus. Every game has menus. How hard can it be? I always do it the day before I ship. It's like, nope, a month. And I still even haven't done localization. I know it's coming up. What I learned from doing UI is don't use drop-downs. Oh, so you can't please everybody. Like for the resolution, I've got it's a scroll button, not a scroll button, but it's like forget the term for it. But there's like a left and right button, and then you just kind of scroll through the options that you want. And some people are like, oh, for resolutions you should have a drop down because then I can see what are all the ones that are available. But with drop downs it's like, okay, well, do you have everything else change, or do you have the drop down window cover up other stuff? How do you use it for controllers? It's not a slider. It's got I think it's just like it's not a scroll button either. But you'll see it's actually used in a lot of AAA games, and there's a reason why. It's honestly the easiest thing to use. It's this, right? So, and yeah, it's not great because sometimes, especially for these, you have games that do like low, normal, high, extreme. So it's like unless you kind of click through all of them, you don't even know what options are available. Like you think high is the highest, but no, there's extreme or there's an ultra. So there is a lot of problems with this, but the nice thing is you can just organize everything like this. Yeah, carousel. So everything ends up being, it's like really easy to organize a bunch of options. Whereas if you have the drop down, it's like, okay, well, does that push all of these down? And then you need, especially if you're on a controller, it's like, okay, well, when you have to like press one button to select the drop down and then press it again to have it come down. It's just kind of a huge pain. See, then you can have like the maximize all settings, sometimes have it, or you do the default. Anyway, there's just like all these tiny little things that you have to consider when you're doing UI that you don't think of until you're doing it. And so, all right, well, Repu, thanks for stopping by, and all the best with this work marathon you're on. April 30th will be around sooner. Before you know it, it'll be April 30th. Yes, and I hope to catch one of your streams once you start doing that again. Yeah, and a lot of AAA games have carousel buttons. So I ended up switching to carousel too. But I still need to make sure that my buttons that I have enough room for the different translations. I think I heard that with German, it's like you want to set aside at least twice as much room as you have for the English words. Beam 84, yes. There's my link to the GDC talk. Yeah. The GDC talk is like one of the best things I've done for the game, because all the comments are really positive, and I wasn't thinking about that, right? Like, they just asked me to do the level design talk, and at first I was like, oh man, I don't think I'm qualified, because you have people from Bethesda talking. I'm like, man, I'm just some dude. I haven't even shipped a game. But it worked out well. I think it's one of my favorite talks that I've given. It did take a lot of time to prepare. But the cool thing is a lot of people, like, from the talk figured out, like, they now understand what the game is about. Some of the comments are like, oh, I thought it was just this, like, architecture showcase that looked pretty. I didn't realize there was a game. Where do you get translations for an indie game? They have different... Well, sometimes your publisher will do it. Like, your publisher will have connection. Like, there are some shops that will just do all the localization for all the languages, and usually they've got I guess contractors for each language. Sometimes your publisher will have like one place that does Japanese translations that they've worked with. So like Playism in Japan, I know a lot of studios go through them for Japanese localization. There's a spreadsheet going around. I don't have a link to it, but it's a spreadsheet of the most commonly used phrases in video games. So it's like got like save, load, new game, game over, options, etc. And it's just a spreadsheet with all the different languages. So you can use that. For me, localization is not gonna be, or you can have like fan translations. I think Papers, Please did that for like Polish. And you can just outsource it to, you have playtesters do it. I'm not super worried about it because I have very few words in the game. All the words are just in the menu. So like I did a Japanese translation a few years ago when I showed at Tokyo Game Show, and it was like the text on the poster and all the buttons, menu, all the UI in the game, and that cost me like $40. So, which is nothing. Some games, their localization costs are like, you know, some games have 30,000 words. So, you know, each language is like $2,000. Do I document the changes? I mean, I use version control, and I've got a devlog, and I stream. So if that's what you mean by, yeah, I mean, with version control, when you check in, you know, have a line about what you did. Yeah, the devlog, I think, has some stuff that you might find useful, perhaps. I've not been updating the devlog as much, though, since I've been streaming. Oh no, I use Perforce. That Perforce comment is kind of useless. I thought there was more information. But I guess not, oh well. Yeah, I've personally have never been a big fan of Git, but I think with version control you'll find a lot of people with different preferences. Yeah, I also wouldn't recommend Perforce. I'm using it now. I like it. There are some problems, and you know, it's about setting up a server, which can be hard. And you know, I'm lucky. I've got someone here in Chicago has sort of done a lot of that work for me. What does it take to be a moderator on this stream? Nothing really. If you like to be a moderator, actually, you know what? If you like to be a moderator, that's cool. I'm actually looking for new ones. I've avoided getting new moderators for a while because I didn't want. I just wanted to avoid the mod wall, which is when it's all mods talking. But I think I stream frequent enough, like kind of these different times, and then also the stream has gotten a lot bigger that I think we do need new ones. So there's no process for it or anything, but yeah, I think I am actually interested in signing people up for moderators, but yeah, if that's something you'd be interested in, I will let me know. Have I prepared puzzles for my game when building levels? Sometimes I do. It depends on the level. There's sometimes I start with the architecture and then try to make a puzzle out of it. Sometimes I don't. Cool. Well, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's make you a mod. Yeah, you don't have to like come all the time or anything. It's more just whenever you're on, that's good. Yeah, we do get how do I manage to keep motivated, interested for so long? Yeah, well, I just treat it like a job. Right, do not abuse the moderator powers. I giveth and I taketh away. Yeah, I mean, I just treat it like a job. So it's just like showing up to work. I mean, for me, it is my job, basically, right? I don't do anything else. Yeah. Listen to Garrett. He's a wise old mod. Yeah, but I'm also like, I think my personality, I'm also just I'm a very boring person. Streaming definitely helps. I don't only work when I'm motivated. I show up even when I don't want to, and I think that's the key. I'm not saying you shouldn't take breaks, but I treat it like a job, right? So it's the streaming helps where it's like, okay, well, you don't always want to go to work, but you still show up. Oh, you know what? AI also actually wrote a really great article about balancing the indie lifestyle and how actually if you're working a full-time job and making a game on the side, that's not as bad of a situation as you might think, or it's not even a bad situation. It can actually be quite good. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, I think there's some stuff about staying motivated there, having some variety in life. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I should make a mod too. Hey, what does the development, Fiber 18, hello. What does the development roadmap look like? We're getting pretty close, actually. So it's visual polish and content left. Yeah. Actually, AIWU paid for the mod privileges. Now, if I know you in person, you get a pass. So, yeah, pretty close. Getting close. Yeah, it's all visual polish. Like there's a list here that I made. I can kind of read a bit of it, but so it's like portals. I need to create large portals for the world shrinking, test objects going through it. Water doesn't, at the moment it's broken again. They're all very minor visual transitions. Yeah, the biggest part is making a ton of levels. And audio. Audio is the one thing I still need to do. Yeah, and also to add to Damn Scout's point is half the time I don't know what I'm doing, so things end up changing quite a bit. Yeah, the game is feature complete. So there's a basic version of everything inside the game. Both music and sound effects, yes. I have some sounds in it, but they're very much placeholder. Like I haven't even spent time thinking about what I want the audio direction of the game to be. What was the first thing I started to work on in the game? The gravity changing. All right, Garrett, see you later. I can actually send you a video of the very first version. Yeah, sorry about that. It was 10,000 images, right? I had to fit it in. I should put a warning. Oh yeah, this is looking really good. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would like to think my changes were for the better. I don't want to be like, yeah, the yearly version looked much better. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even call what I had art direction. It was just there was no vision at the beginning. I think it was just like very, very cheap sci-fi. Right, it is 10:51. Alright, it's 10:52. I'm actually going to wrap up this stream now because I'm going to get up early. Yeah, I'm trying to stream a little bit earlier now because I think that, well, first of all, I'm working with a few people and they're all in Europe. And, you know, 5 p.m. in Europe is like 11 a.m. here. I used to get started at like 12 p.m. but now to kind of meet reasonable hours for them, I have to be up a lot early. But it's also great. I think that's I'm getting a lot more work done. Oh, are they already? I did not even. Did they announce a date? Wow, okay. It Hey, Acronix. Hanamura, no idea what that is, and I've never seen a verified badge before. That's cool. What does that mean? Yeah, okay, I guess they're coming out. Did I just totally miss? I didn't really sign on to Twitter the last few days, and that's normally how I find out about game releases. Oh yeah, is that I don't play Overwatch. My roommate does. Oh, well, I am trying to make it look like a Japanese garden. And I don't know what Hanamura is, but it sounds Japanese. Yeah, hold on. Let me, actually, before we wrap this up, let's just take kind of a quick tour of the level. So this is actually, it's going to be in the purple. Where you're sick from me modeling in an orthographic view. I just like it because everything looks the same size. Like, my levels are so big that in perspective I can barely see anything. Yeah, also the game in the editor looks nothing like what it looks like in gameplay. Yeah, well, as you can see, the game itself is not in orthographic mode. Yeah, the colors, their vertex colors, are just to show that things look different. Oh yeah, so if you don't know anything about the game, it's sort of, if you've seen Inception, that scene where they fold Paris in half and start changing gravity, that is the core mechanic. So you can see, and then also the world wraps around on itself. So if I, jump off, I'm going to come back down from above. This is where I was before. Ah, okay, so this water got stopped. Okay, you know what? I need to move this then, because I don't want the water stopping. But, kind of the cool thing is I can drop a box. Yeah, I don't want that water stopping. Because this is the first time that players see water. I want the water loop effect to happen. Is there levels with the world wrap where the other versions are on different gravities already? No, they're always the same. So if I just drop this box, but you can see it fall down from above. There's like that little speck. It's gonna keep growing. So because the geometry. So I'm gonna get rid of this because I want the water to loop. Hey, Jake Tone. So, but yeah, I think this new thing of adding kind of these different steps throughout is already working a lot better. Now there's this kind of. Oops, I did not mean to fire on. I'll turn off no clip. So anyway, you can grow trees. Oops. Sorry, we missed the tree animation. I fell off. But we can try growing another one. So yeah, you can bend water in the game. Yeah, programming has been kind of a huge pain. It's been in development for 4.5 years. I'm super happy with this new water. Oh, hey, Roots works. Yeah. Yes, that's one of my favorite. Thank you, Jake Tone. Yeah, so this is, I'm super happy with the way this breaks. There's a few things going on where the way we're doing the water is there's like a speed at which it grows, and then when it breaks apart, we actually stop moving it and dissolve it. Let me see if there's, actually I think, let's do this. Yes. Yeah, there's been a lot of improvements. Yeah, I think this is starting to feel very much like a Japanese garden, this level. So this game is called Manifold Garden. And I can show you guys since we are here. So what I'm gonna, one thing I want to do is move the block. So you can see here, this was where I've got this little, actually I don't know if you guys can't see it, but there's a tool. This, you guys see this down here. This actually tells me which gravity it's in. So if I want to be actually in the blue gravity, which is down here, this is the level that I was at. So this was the door that come out, and right, this is, so the problem right now is that it actually is, oh yeah, so here's the other thing that's really great about ortho is I can, if I line things up correctly, I can see the size that they're in. Like there's no, like if I did perspective, I can't tell which part of it is lined up correctly, right? But if it's orthographic, I know exactly, it's like, okay, I just got to move this out of the way like that, and then this water is gonna not hit the edge. So that's the other, I should add that actually to my command explanation. Okay, I will see you later. So yeah, that's the other thing that's really nice about orthographic is you can line things up and see exactly when they're overlapping. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for the subscription. Really appreciate it. Do the thing I always do, which is with the horse. Yeah, I'll show you guys another level while I'm here. So I'm gonna wrap up this stream. So how did you I did a lot of the game by myself. We got some new people join. If you watch this, there's a TV show called Peep Show, and it's this UK show with David Mitchell, Robert Webb. If you've seen it, you might know where the horse is from. It's a cookie jar, but not super useful. So when I hit play, actually what I'm doing is there's a process that goes through the level and optimizes it. So it combines a bunch of the meshes together into one. But for those of you that are new tonight, kind of curious how you guys came into this stream. Where did you guys find out about it? Yeah, so I'm showing you a new level. So, whoa! I've not checked out this level in a while. Oh, that's an interesting... Oh, so we've got this new shader, and... So this is an interesting problem. This is this new shader, and it's so good at picking up the edges that these stairs end up looking quite dark in the distance. Like, it didn't used to, because it was all, the stairs would all blur together, but now that it's more accurate, it's like it ends up being this kind of this black block. So in this level, there's some really cool stuff. But you know, you can have these blocks that you come in and use it to manipulate the geometry in the water and so forth. So this still needs some work. But yeah, basically the idea is over time. Like, see, that water is what I'm looking at over there, right? It's the same thing because the world wraps around. And then we can, of course, combine it with... how should you approach shader programming? There's a lot to learn. I think the easiest, if you're working with Unity, is to start by reverse engineering some of the shaders that they've got. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting problem. Like, so I had some new graphics programmer join the team to kind of help with some of the late stage polish. And there's one guy, he was actually the lead graphics programmer on Ori on the Blind Forest. He's overhauled the post-processing system, and it looks fantastic now. Like, the edge detection is so good. But because it's so good that it's picking up all the edges on the stairs that before it used to miss. So now it's got all these like black patches, which is an interesting problem. It's almost too much of a good thing. Yeah, like this didn't used to happen before, but now it's almost, and I'm noticing it because right, it's these like really strong black areas. Maybe that's not a problem, like, because the transition to it is pretty natural, but we used to miss these edges, and now it's picking them up way out in the distance, which is it's more oh yeah, if you send it to a mod, the mod can, you gotta send the link to a mod first. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's just different than how it used to look. Yeah. Anyway, this looks great though. And of course, right, like, as we fall through it, this is kind of what the game is. So, yeah, it's mostly just an interesting problem. So anyway, it's 11:10 p.m. here for me, so I'm gonna wrap up the stream. If you like the channel, you should definitely, if you like the stream, you should follow the channel. And I stream pretty much every day, I think for like 4 to 6 hours. Alright, I am gonna host my friend, the Good Idea Co., who's another streamer, uses Hacks Flixel. And thank you all for joining. Thanks for the support. Oh, and one thing I've been doing is kind of talking a bit about the production of the game and the trajectory. So we're right in the final stages, working on mostly polish. I need to spend some time on making large portals. Then it's I said earlier, mostly just level design and audio that's left. So it's just a matter of keeping the momentum going, not getting distracted. And still on track to ship the game this year. Closer to the end of this year, but yeah, I'm still on track. So anyway, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.